I looked at all my options. I was able to access my disk utility to check everything and make sure I didn't need disk repair or anything, and everything checked out. It's okay.
You're going to lose your files.
Yeah. I'm going to look on Apple support tonight for some more, to see if I can get around it, find some kind of workaround. Because it used to be on my older Macs, I could start
You were updating
with,
over the internet and you lost connection or something?
No, it's an automatic update that, they send out software updates.
Right, and what, you lost a connection or something? Maybe in the midst of it just...
No, it said it was going very slowly.
Right.
It was not doing right, and then it's quit. And so I guess it's just...
Put a fan on it, that's what I do.
How's your new fan?
I'm using the fan I got from you. That's the one I'm using.
Okay.
That little fan I got from you.
The one you got from Goodwill's?
I'm not using that right now. I'm using the one I've got from you. Fits on my desk. I'm using it right now, and
it wasn't overheated though.
Oh, I'm just
I know.
Joking.
I didn't.
I have a bad cold, and hopefully, if anything, maybe I'll turn out zany at best. The whole world is going like wall, 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 wall. I can't tell when the patterns are on or off.
Are you taking medication?
I don't know how many Tylenols I ate. I either ate 2.5 Tylenols or I ate 4.5 Tylenols, but I can't remember for sure. And I have to teach a class tonight, and as soon as the class, but even before the class is over, the Mount Dungeon thing starts at what time? 9 o'clock?
9:30.
9:30. That's
Yes.
what time my class is over. So as soon as my class is over, the Mount Dungeon thing already starts, and I'm supposed to be at that.
Over at the brew place?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I feel like we should have consulted with you in terms of setting start times.
Oh, I don't care about that. No. Y'all do a good job. Just do what you do. You should have consulted.
Well, you'll get to. There'll be plenty of repeats. We're gonna go ahead and have a submit to URTV version of the thing as well. So we're gonna start airing it at URTV at some point soon. We're planning on rerunning this thing again and again and again and again and again and again.
Well, Adam always sits here, and he almost never talks. He sits very quietly. Have you noticed that about Adam?
I haven't had the pleasure of being.
Oh, this
at
is
the
Adam.
Tea party with Adam.
Excuse me. This
but one other
We've been on
time,
a
and it
tea
was
party together
briefly.
about 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
But we haven't been together.
Mostly you don't know it that Adam was here because he doesn't say anything. He's. But so.
Well, good. So maybe we get to talk.
I know
We get to
you're like
talk,
me. You like to talk. I know. But Adam, pass the microphone down. Let's make Adam talk some. Okay.
No pressure. No pressure.
None at all.
Okay. You're a member of URTV, right?
Yes, have been for about a year now.
All right. Well, gee, your membership's about to run out, isn't it?
Yes. Good thing I'm broke too.
And but you're working on some animation or something?
I'm
You
working
want
on
to tell us about it?
I've got about 4.5 episodes written. It's a parody of Asheville. I just got the equipment to be able to do it. I just got the programs I need. So now I'm like starting to work on it. I've had some character design I've already done. It's just going to make fun of everything and everyone in Asheville.
Bravo.
Are you a Mason, or are you just wearing a Mason button?
I got a box sent to me right after Christmas from a great uncle of mine that's been dead over 10 years, and it was full of these things and
So he
bear
was the
teeth.
Mason.
And
Will
all
you
kinds
show
of-
us the secret Mason handshake?
No. They might come after
You
me.
passed the test.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't show it, so he
yeah,
passed the
you
test.
passed the test. You're in.
And I just wear it. Maybe they'll see me and want to give me some money.
It's a good idea.
I'm not sure it works that way.
I think they try to get the money.
Ah, I know.
But there are
Same-
a bunch of Masonic rings in the box and all kinds of weird things like bear teeth and
Oh, that's neat.
very odd things. And but the funny thing, it was from a man who's been dead for 10 years.
Wow. Did you know him at all?
Yeah, when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
He lived in Idaho.
Treasures.
Yeah, and a lot of it's made out of gold. anything from 10 to 24 carats. So.
Sell it on eBay. Just kidding.
My cat freaked
Yeah,
out. about
gold's
the
up
bear
to
teeth.
like $900 an ounce.
It's one of
now,
the only
isn't it?
things going up right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Precious metals.
That
Or the
and
market's
Canadian
not going
dollar.
up.
No, they say that in guitars. People are people who buy stock, and gamble in that way are buying guitars now and just sitting on them.
Old Gibsons are.
Oh yeah, and because they accumulate, money better than stocks.
Mm-hmm. It is true.
It's very sad as a musician though, because some people believe that.
Oh, that you should play them.
Yes.
Oh well, that an instrument will not get better unless it's played.
Oh.
There's one theory there.
A friend of mine went to a house the other day, like a house that was a $40 million house near here, and they're having to fix some of the security cameras there. But he saw a nice grand piano. Thing was easily like a $50,000 piano, and he went up to it and he's like, I have to just. Thing was completely out of tune. It had just been sitting there only for show.
Right.
It's just such a tragedy. You're gonna spend that kind of money on a musical instrument. You should play it.
Amen.
Have you
Exactly.
heard Woody play his guitar and sing songs?
Really good.
Ah, well,
All right.
that's it.
Well, let's see.
And this is his CD.
Say okay. Say who it is that I just because I can't say names, who it is that you like that, Django Reinhardt.
Django Reinhardt.
You know,
Ah,
you,
yeah.
That's pretty good.
you do any Django Reinhardt?
I do not.
Okay.
He is a master, though. He's
Mhm.
really great. Gypsy jazz
Gypsy jazz
stylist
Uh-huh.
who has changed the world of string jazz, I believe.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Or I'd say kind of brought it into its own. Well, its own in that.
There's so many imitators and emulators.
Right.
It's like he's like the Bill Monroe of gypsy jazz.
All right. There you go. But he just did a song from New Orleans,
Which one?
telling what that was.
Oh, that's the old Candy Man. It's a ragtime finger picking tune.
You want to do it? Do you know any more New Orleans songs?
I think I do.
Will you play one? 'Cause
Sure.
She used to live in New Orleans. So
Oh,
she would
okay.
enjoy that.
Yeah, that's right. I moved up there, up here from there.
Really? So did I.
Yeah. I was commuting back and forth to the coast of Oregon, and
That's a far piece to be commuting.
I decided I ran into.
Closer up here.
Yeah.
It's only about 9 hours to drive a hard drive back down
Oh,
there.
okay.
It's amazingly close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep me on
And I'm getting ready to head back down there for Mardi Gras, I believe. Okay, this is called, boy, if you've ever hung out in the French Quarter, watch the folks stumble off Bourbon Street looking for their cars early in the morning. This is called Junko Partner. An old R&B tune. Down the road, come a Junko Partner. Yes, he was loaded as he could be. He was knocked out, loaded. Yes, he was wobbling all down the street. Once I had a whole lot of money, lots of good friends all around. Now I ain't got a penny, and my good friends, they turned me down. Down the road, 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 down the road. I come my Junko Partner. Yes, he was loaded as he could be. Long road. Yes, 1 month ain't no sentence, and 6 months ain't no fine. I got friends in a penitentiary that are doing 9. If I had a whole lot of money, lots of good friends all around. Yes, I'd buy the land around Angola, and I'd plant me a reefer farm. Down the road, 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 down the road. I call my jungle partner. Yes, he was loaded as he could be. I think y'all might know what I'm talking about. Down the road, down the road, down the road, come a jungle partner. Yes, he was loaded as he could be. He was knocked out, loaded. Yes, he was wobbling all down the street.
You know, the Neville brothers are going to be at Jazz Fest this year.
Oh, good. Yeah, I didn't know that. I haven't heard the lineup for that, but
That's the first time you've heard
I've heard that's great.
Woodrow play?
That's great.
uh-oh.
We're going to have some of this.
Have some of that coffee there.
Mm.
Yeah,
Do you
Neville.
know any Professor
Were you
Longhair?
recording
Or are
that?
you doing do any of those good old New Orleans? Any of the old New
Well, not
Orleans?
so much.
Or you do all your own stuff?
Well, that last song was an old R&B song from an early rock and roll group in New Orleans, and mostly I'm infused, I'd say, with the Dixieland and the Professor Longhair. I love it. I used to go out to the clubs. We played on the street. We were a street band. And we played every day.
In New Orleans?
Yeah, believe it or not, it's one of the best paying gigs in New Orleans.
I know it is. And then what's sad about the fact that New Orleans is kind of, is all the artists that used to be supported on the street down there.
Well, I've talked. I just happen to be in touch with Jackson Square. I get the update.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
How's it going
I
down
get
there?
the update from Jackson
Should
Square.
be getting some Mardi
And
Gras people.
Here's the story from Jackson Square, from the artist's point of view. Okay, financially the place is not doing as well as it was, and the high-class tourists with the big wad of money in their pocket are not there in the numbers that they're used to seeing. Makes it hard for the artists to make a living.
Yeah.
Some of the artists, though, because artists are very ingenuitive, have started doing smaller paintings and things. Less expensive, more, shall we say, low-grade touristy.
Yeah,
New
more
Orleans,
touristy
ta-da,
stuff.
Just some of the
yeah,
local tourists,
Huh?
sounds like.
Huh?
Sounds like some of the local tourists.
local tourists.
You
Yeah.
know, like the local folks are coming for the day trip. Not
Yeah.
so much people coming for a week long or
Oh
2
yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah. You're right. Exactly. People from out of town, but not too far out of
I
town.
hate
Yeah.
to call them low class or.
Well, okay, but they don't have the kind of money that.
And if they did, they'd buy a beer with it.
Hell yes, but anyway, so the artists, they tell me, so they say a lot of us, the ones that are still some of them are still making a living, but
Yeah.
they say we're making smaller paintings, and we're selling 2 or 3 times as many of them. See, and getting
So
by,
it's working out.
getting by, not making as much money as they were, but getting by. And hanging in there. Some of them are hanging in there.
Good,
And hanging in there is exactly what they're doing. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, and back when I was there around 2000, I don't know when you lived there, but Jackson Square was lined up. You could not fit one more fortune teller
Really?
person.
See, I've never seen it quite like that.
It used to, and I didn't know this because I had moved there, and I moved there 98. It was a real renaissance and a real heyday in that time. There was more artists, more bands, great bands were there, and you don't recognize this thing while you're in it, But then I've talked to folks who have lived there through the 80s, and they said that was really a renaissance right before Katrina.
Well, I was there from 80 to 89, and I had a business at Jackson Brewery. So I was like always very familiar with what was going on around the square because I was right there.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was really, you know.
The thing is not.
We used to have a fantastic
It needs to be dropped down, so
convention
look at the-
business in New Orleans,
I
and
know.
those were their high rollers.
That's who we look for too. We were like, oh, the doctors, the heart surgeon convention.
The
We're gonna
heart
make
surgeons
some money
and the
this
plastic
weekend.
surgeons.
might
Yeah, the
see
heart
yeah,
surgeons and
snapping
the
in
plastic
there.
surgeons
You could
were
go
really
and
good.
Yep, you can see who was coming in.
I did a down
if you
payment
can
on my
figure that
house
out.
from the convention group, boy.
I don't think it'll
Yep.
fit.
And have you heard if they're still doing conventions? I know it's one of the
Well,
major
it's really
industries
hit.
there.
It's really hit, and it's going to take a long time to get that convention business back to where it was.
Right, because of crime.
Many
or
things.
Many
things. Part of it, I think, the connotation of what people saw with those people camped out at the convention center and what went on there. Then you have, from what I read in the paper, not enough service people to accommodate, not enough service workers to accommodate the huge conventions that the huge number of people that used to attend the conventions,
lot of
because
work.
they'd have like from 10 to 50,000 people
Yep.
Right. Well, yeah.
per convention.
Uh-huh.
There, I haven't read a lot recently about the convention business, but it's been hit really badly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And people
And-
don't realize how many people
Lived
that
off of
brings
that.
to the French
Oh.
Quarter. Yeah, and how,
Because a
without
lot
those-
of times you have a 10,000 person plastic surgery convention. Well, they brought their wives and.
Yep, they're like, we're going to New Orleans.
Oh yeah. The shops and everything. You know.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Not to mention you get a boat in there every once in a while.
You
Drop
sold
50,000 people off.
hats to those wives, didn't you?
No, I sold all kinds of artisan-made things representative of New Orleans.
Okay.
I had like a
And you were right on the
small.
square.
I was at the building Jackson Brewery right there. The big brewery. It says Jackson Brewery on the side.
forget
Jack's
it.
Brewery.
Which, yeah, gotcha.
Says Jack's Brewery. Well, that
Yep.
used to be a Jack's Beer, and then they converted it in '84 to a mall, a specialty mall.
Yeah.
And I sold artists, local craftspeople and artists and stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, it's good.
How long did you live down there?
10 years.
Well, I know there's a huge relationship between Asheville and New Orleans, and Asheville I know is always trying to foster that through their Mardi Gras parades, and the Orange Peel's always doing some
I've just
Mardi
thought of
Gras
something.
this and that.
I have your windscreen to your microphone. Have you noticed that you're missing your?
No, I haven't noticed it because I haven't been out in any wind using my mic.
Okay, well the little.
Yeah, the little fuzzy, the little round thingy.
Okay. I don't know where it is.
Well, when you get it, just
But
put it in a spot where you know where it
It
is.
keeps popping up, and I'm not sure what I do with it.
Well, I keep forgetting to bring my microphone. I should not forget it because I like having my own microphone.
It is nice. It is nice. I knew a guy who played with a band full of older folks, some gray hair,
Older
bluegrass guys.
Them older folks.
I know I got to be sensitive, but he brought one germ caught off these microphones. He had to wipes. So he'd wipe down every microphone before the show.
Uh-huh.
Think about traveling around from gig to gig, and
Right.
every microphone, you don't know how many people have sung
Right.
on it, and one cold in that type of group would ruin a tour.
Right.
You know?
Well, you don't have to touch the microphone. See what I
Oh
mean?
no, but some of those bars you got to get pretty close.
Yes.
Here we're safe.
I don't know.
Don't be so sure about that.
That's mind over matter.
But I have noticed that a lot of people did move up here after Katrina. I mean,
Yeah.
we kind of took on a little bit of the look of New Orleans after
Oh,
Katrina.
I met
No.
quite a few people.
There was already a little bit of there was already a little New Orleans crowd up here. You know, New Orleans was represented, and
Cajun restaurants.
and stuff. But then, of course, after Katrina,
The only really good one is down in Hendersonville that is even close to authentic.
What's that place called?
Well, I can't remember the name of it, but it's right there on Main Street, and you have to go down some stairs to get to it. It's kind of like right in the middle of the Main Street area. But
I
they
know I
have a
got
pretty
fi-
decent po' boy, and they get their bread shipped in every day from Gambino's.
See,
it would go ahead.
I just haven't had a good. I'm
Po'
looking
boy?
for that po' boy because there's nothing like the New Orleans po' boy.
There
and
isn't. They just
They try to have them up here, but they're not quite.
yeah. Well, they've got a pretty decent po' boy.
I heard it was just beans and rice is all you could get in New Orleans.
Well, I tell you, a po' boy, you can't be po'
But you
anymore and
get-
get a po' boy because they cost $14
Well, I mean,
for a good old oyster po' boy.
That's a rich boy.
It used to be a $4 sandwich.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, when I moved
Now
to,
you've touched it.
I was broken. We used to eat the famous French fry po' boy,
Oh,
which is starch on starch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You used to be able to get it for $2.75 at the Verde Mart on
Did
Royal
they
Street.
Did they put gravy on it or not? No.
No,
you could,
not a-
but that was extra.
Uh.
But you could get it fully dressed. And this is a piece of bread that's 18 inches
Uh-huh.
for $2.75 with French fries. Well, you could get really stuffed on nothing. Yeah.
dressed with mayonnaise, and,
Yep.
or they
Oh,
say
yeah.
mayonnaise. They say mayonnaise in New Orleans.
Yeah. Well,
But
Go ahead and
we
keep
went
it.
to the College
I'll
Inn.
take
Are
it
you
if I
familiar
need
with
it.
the College Inn there on Carrollton?
See, you're not hearing it, so
not
I'm
so
hearing it,
much.
trust me.
It was like on the corner of Tulane. I think it's on the corner of Tulane and Carrollton.
okay.
Well, that has pretty decent po' boys. So when I was down there in June, we went for po' boys, and
Uh-huh. But it's still
it was
good.
$14 for an oyster po' boy.
Oyster?
Oyster.
All right.
It kind of takes the po out of the
New
boy.
Orleans oysters.
Well, what makes the New
Go
Orleans
first.
po' boys excellent is everything is cooked fresh when you order it.
Exactly.
So the oysters are real crispy and hot, and then it's
Makes all the
the
difference.
lettuce and the Tabasco sauce and the everything that they put on, and the bread is always very crispy
And fresh.
and fresh.
Right. That makes all the
All
difference.
And so when you bite into it, you get like a whole bunch of different kind of crunchies from it.
Uh-huh.
The lettuce, the bread, the crunchy oysters.
Uh-huh.
And
French
then
fries.
the seafood is very fresh. Usually it's very fresh there because they're a seafood industry there. So all the seafood is real fresh. And oh gosh, it's so good.
Every time there's a warm day in the winter and I smell the air, I do miss that town, and I think that town has a curse like that. You keep coming back.
Well,
You never live there.
it pulls you back.
Yeah.
And like I remember anytime there's a warm day in the wintertime when the river puts a fog over the city,
Oh,
you
yeah.
get those warm days, and you get that coffee roaster smell
Uh-huh.
Yep.
all over the city from the coffee roasters
Yep.
there, especially when the fog is in, because that keeps the
Something
smell
about
right
that.
in
Very
there.
magical. Yeah.
Yep, a lot of different cultures convened into New Orleans to make a special place.
Mm-hmm. And it will be back.
Yeah. It's going to take a while. Got some hardy souls there. I was talking to my girlfriend the other day who lives there, and she's talking about how hard it is to get anything done. And she's got a restaurant and a business. And, it was hard back before Katrina ever happened to go down to the court to the utility office and get your power hooked up or whatever.
Any city thing there.
Any city thing was
Yeah.
just totally hell, just hell to get done. And she says, "Oh, it's so bad now." And I said, "Oh God, I can't believe it's worse than it used to be." And she says, "You can't believe how bad it is." And I said, "Well, have you gotten murderous yet?" Because back then things like that would frustrate me and make me feel very murderous.
Uh-huh.
She hasn't killed anybody yet, but murders are up in New Orleans. and I
Uh-huh.
think I understand why.
Indeed.
Well, that's just a great line to walk in and hear. I have no idea what you're talking about, but apparently
Murders are up, and tempers are easily flamed
Well,
because
apparently-
of the frustration
Gotcha.
of living there.
Okay, well, all I took away from it is, someone that hasn't killed anybody yet, but if they did, you might be sympathetic, depending on why.
Oh yeah, it depends upon why. Absolutely, anytime.
Wait till it gets to be 120 degrees too.
Oh yeah, well see
then
that
you'll get more
that-
murderous.
Yeah.
that heat craziness,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that heat that sets in on you makes you so crazy.
I always notice that in the summertime, everybody.
In New Orleans or here?
Everywhere. I've ever
Well,
Yeah.
especially in
you
Memphis.
can imagine if
Memphis
you're below
was
sea
exceptionally bad
level.
when I lived there.
All right.
If you're below sea level, so that humidity is really down on you.
Yes, through
The
that.
barometric pressure.
Oh, it can make you really murderous.
May I make an announcement? I've made this announcement once already, but I want to again because people, change channels and come in and out and turn their TV on or turn their
You
TV
want
off.
you want the
and like.
microphone?
I would love the microphone, thank you.
Yep,
And I'm just gonna.
Where's our PZM?
yep.
Where's PZM?
Yeah, where's the PZM?
It's in the bag over there.
Okay.
John is sick today, and
Oh, okay.
John is
Gotcha.
not. John is running
Well, we'll
on
forgive you.
half power. So we'll do. Yeah, push that microphone back up in its little holder. There, whoa. Yeah, good.
Okie dokie. So, I just want to take a moment once again to talk about the TV show that I host, Mount Dungeon. I'm going to be very, very repetitive today because today is very special. Not only tonight, right here on URTV at 11 p.m., do we have a new episode being Laura Reed with Deep Pocket. It's going to be a very, very good episode. But 9:30 at Asheville Pizza. And, I love what this flyer does right now with the chroma key. At Asheville Pizza tonight at 9:30, we are going to air the Asheville Musical Smorgasbord, as we're calling it, which is going to be a best of. A song here, a song there from our best episodes, various different artists, and we're going to roll it together in one package and show it in the big theater at Asheville Pizza tonight at 9:30. And it doesn't actually cost anything to come see this, though we are accepting donations. So if you really want to check out something cool on the big screen that involves local music, this is it right here. And yeah, okay, some people actually have tickets to go see real shows, but if you're broke, by all means, we want you. We want you. Even if you're not broke, we want you. As a matter of fact, if you're looking to drop $100 in a donation bag somewhere, we definitely want you. So, come on down. That's right, tonight, 9:30 at Asheville Pizza.
Did you floss today? Yes. I could tell.
Thank you.
Very good.
A nice close up.
Thank you.
Very good.
Okay.
All right, now share the microphone back over to the other side.
Okay. I'm going to come in and do that at least once more.
Okay.
Well,
tonight's special.
We're duly warned.
Yeah, but tonight's special. I mean, I'm actually really excited.
Oh,
about the
you
fact
should be.
that-
I think
yeah.
it'd be great.
Thank you, Debbie. Yes, we're very, very excited
Oh yeah.
to actually have been going for a year and pulled this off. Not only have we been making Mount Dungeon for a year, but it's almost exactly 10 years ago that I left Connecticut to come to North Carolina.
Why did you come here from Connecticut? What drew you here?
What drew me here? I left Connecticut and went somewhere warmer because I was sick of New England winters. What drew me here is what draws anybody to Asheville. You can't explain it in...
The Paris of the South.
You can't really explain what draws you to Asheville in sound.
The Blue Ridge Mountains called me. They were like,
The
"Come
Blue
on
Ridge,
back,
the Blue Ridge
come
Mountains are
on."
a strong draw.
Yeah.
They called me from New Orleans because it was the heat and the crime and the all, there's a combination of things. And said, come on up to the mountains. Come on up here.
Well,
Come on.
let me ask you
Come
some.
on.
Let me ask you some questions, Matt. A question. You had a reading earlier from our friend with the readings.
Yes.
And I wanted to know what was your impression of your reading. Did you feel that was a very accurate reading?
This past year has been something for me to be sure, in that it was. This past year has been very unpredictable. And definitely a learning experience, mostly because,
Mount Dungeon.
Yeah, I help make a TV show, and this has taken over my life, and this has become a source of extraordinary pride, and hopefully in 2008 we'll actually make some money off the bloody thing.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Right.
But even if we don't, I love doing this, and as something as a passion, I enjoy this. I thought it was sort of interesting. He's mentioning, there's some woman like over 40 who's going to be incredibly supportive of my career and all that. When that in fact, she's already there. That describes my girlfriend. She's older than me. She's over 40, and
I did not realize that Doris was over 40.
Doris is over 40.
I knew she was older than you, but I didn't. I don't know her exact age, but I didn't realize she was over 40. But anyway, and she's awesome.
Yes, she is.
We can always throw out a Doris is awesome from the Tea Party.
Yes, she is. Yeah. And she has been incredibly supportive of.
She has. Yes. He was dead on that part. That's what I was impressed with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. We had our psychic buddy on earlier.
Oh heck! I'm sorry I missed that.
You did. You missed it, but he'll come back. He's been invited back more, and he'll come back, and you'll run into him, and you can get him to do it.
Does he do palm readings, or what kind of readings was he doing?
He had a deck of cards with him, but he didn't.
Like tarot.
But I don't believe he was doing readings from those. But he was prepared to. But he's just off the cuff,
One time I had my cards read, and the woman said,
Oh,
"You are surrounded by enemies."
Oh no.
See enemies.
See enemies. Do you see those enemies?
See enemy T.
See enemy T.
How accurate do you think she was in giving that
She
reading?
was incredibly accurate, and
Were
I had
you
to change
surrounded-
my whole life.
Were you
since then.
surrounded by enemies?
Absolutely. Yes. I
Down
was.
in New Orleans?
No.
Oh.
This is before New Orleans.
Oh.
But yeah, she was right on.
You were surrounded by enemies. That must have been awful.
It was.
But then everything got better.
Yeah, I had to make some serious changes.
You had to leave.
serious changes were made.
You are surrounded by
Sometimes it
enemies.
takes someone else to point that
Yes,
out.
yeah. It's very fortuitous.
You think we should let Woody have get a couple of sips of tea and then make him do another song?
Absolutely.
I think that sounds brilliant.
Do you? I don't know if he knows another
Well, he's
song.
got a great voice.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Take no offense that I'm about to get up and leave as you break into song, but I'm down in the lobby. I'm jotting notes for I intend to get up there and say something tonight. So I'm down the hall listening to you.
Oh.
Have they got
God,
any?
I
Have they
don't
got
care.
And you've got all of our
sound
wonderful
turned up in this
viewers
monitor?
listening
Without
as well.
the viewers,
Out there?
where would we be?
Exactly.
A little bit. It's not too high out there.
But you can hear him sing from
Yeah,
here.
I can hear. So I'm listening.
That's a really pretty guitar he's got.
It
isn't
is.
It is. It's very lovely.
Really.
It's a resonator guitar, and it's 7.5 times louder than a regular guitar.
Notice it sounds special.
Yeah, it's got a metal plate in it, and it's one of the first speakers they've invented back in the 30s to compete with horn bands. And
So is that old? Is it? Like
no, this is a newer model. I believe it's a '98.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's fairly new. They still make them.
But it looks just like one from like the 40s or something, doesn't it?
I guess so. Yeah.
Really
I mean,
close.
you can't improve on perfection.
It's
There's no
It's a national.
national guitar. Yep. I gotta think of a song here. What kind of song would you like? You did pretty good in the sing-along last week.
I don't remember.
There we go. I know. Since we're up in the mountains, I know we've been talking about the lowlands for a while. I'm gonna do a spooky Appalachian mountain song. It's called Red Rockin' Chair. Ain't got no use for no red rocking chair. Ain't got no honey baby now. Said I ain't got no use for no red rocking chair. And I ain't got no honey baby now. Said I ain't got mama now. I did all I could do, did all I could say. Take you to your mama next payday. You laying in the shade, you spent every dime I made, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. Said I ain't gonna be treated this way. Rock the cradle, who'll sing this song? Who'll rock the cradle when you're gone? It's who'll rock the cradle, who'll sing this song, and it's who'll rock the cradle when you're gone. Said pull back the shirt curtain, pull back the shade. Today's been a long rainy day. I said I ain't got no use for no red rocking chair, and I ain't got honey baby now. Ain't got no honey baby now. It's I'll rock the cradle, I will sing this song. I'll rock the cradle when you're gone. It's I'll rock the cradle, I will sing this song, and it's I'll rock the cradle when you're gone. Said I ain't got no use for no red rocking chair, ain't got no honey baby now. Said I ain't got no use for no red rocking chair, and I ain't got no sugar mama now. Said I ain't got no honey baby. Well, that's another light-hearted song from the mountains.
Yeah, there's a tendency toward those around here, and those old folky kind of.
Well, we're trying to express we as in the singers of some of these songs. There's a lot to be expressed through music, both silly and goofy and serious and heartening. So, a lot of emotions. So, yeah, that's what I like about some of them. Of course, there's no time to, like the present, to party and have fun with them too. There are a lot of party songs, but then there's a lot of real communication through songs. Gotta love sadness. Boy, I think I realized the first time you express sadness in a song and someone actually gets it, it's a world-changing thing for a singer, I believe.
Have you written any sad
Tell
songs?
me some of that.
I have. I write a handful of homemade songs.
Well, let's hear some of your songs.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's see.
An original tune.
An original. Right. BMI cannot be. I'm not even going to bring BMI up for you guys. That's the music licensing company that would like a nickel for every cover we do on here.
No, not if you do it.
Is that the way they do it? Well, this is a song about a love story, kind of about some old hobos. And, I know you've seen them. People think the hobos were a thing of yesterday, but they're still riding the rails today. It's kind of a different demographic now, but they're still out there. He was a hobo, she was his bride. He courted her near the jungle fire. The long steel rail they chose to ride forever on and 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 on. Wedding day, his suit was threadbare among spring flowers. She dressed in white with bows in her hair. We danced for hours. We danced for hours. There soon came a dying yell from heights they could not gain. The rail was shattering. They jumped from the boxcar of that old steam train. It was going nearly 100 miles an hour. Nearly 100 miles an hour. They say when a hobo dies that he rides the tail of a Halley's Comet through the sky. He was a hobo, she was his bride. He courted her near the jungle fire, the long steel rail they chose to ride forever on and 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 on. The hobo and his bride. Well, thank you.
You know, like the the Hobo Film Festival, about all that. There's people that go around and do documentaries about hobos. Some of them live here in town.
Okay.
And maybe they'd like that song for one of their documentaries.
You know what? I think I've met somebody who was working on a train. They're about to jump on a train and do some filming.
Yeah.
And
There are a few people you should get in touch
Did
with.
that come from
Yes.
like a real thing? Did you see were you present?